That's right, being your own bank is not necessarily a bad thing. I'm gonna break down what I mean in 1 second. And this is all because of NFT lending. And in headline news today, Blur, one of the biggest marketplaces out there for NFTs, overtaken OpenSea, has announced that they're gonna start a peer-to-peer NFT lending platform. You might be thinking, well, who cares? I don't even own a ton of NFTs that are worth a lot of money. Well, NFT lending has just crossed a $1 billion mark in loans lent out. Why is that a big deal? And that is because we can finally play in the big boys game. Blur makes the case that every trillion-dollar market relies on financialization to scale. The example they use here is housing, which I don't know if you can compare NFTs to houses, although some NFTs cost as much as many houses. Instead of paying $1 million for a house, most people put 10-20% down. So here, $100,000 down. And Blur says that without this mechanism, without this financialization, almost no one would be able to afford a house. I do have to agree with Blur here because I do live in San Francisco. $1 million on the lower side, like I said, the average house here goes for $1.2 to $1.5 million. And that's during a down market. Can you imagine when things are on the up and up? Blur says NFTs faces a similar problem, and I beg to differ. Not right now, at least. No one wants to take out a $1 million loan for an NFT. In the future, yes, when physical goods, things like houses, jewelry, fine arts, wines and spirits, when those things are embedded into the smart contract through an NFT, that's when we're going to see NFT loans take off. And that's why there's a small window of opportunity here, because not only can you borrow from your NFT, which no one has right now, you can lend. That's right, you get to be a lender. You get to be the bank. Right now, only the big boys, banks, institutions are playing the lending game. Average people like you and me are not getting into the lending game for mortgages, car loans, etc. And for good reason. We don't understand the underwriting, there's regulatory compliance there, there's a whole lot of moving parts. Thankfully, DeFi and NFTs is going to make that a lot simpler. We're going to get used to underwriting loans, understanding terms, understanding duration, APY, and the actual value of the asset we are lending to. I say wet your beak through NFTs to start because when it moves, it's gonna go fast. Companies like NFT which I am not endorsing by any ways, they've already done over $400 million in loans lent out. They pay close to 20-30% to some of their lenders, so that's something to look into. In fact, if you want more in-depth information on that, I do have a link down below where I walk in depth on how to give out a loan, how to borrow it against your NFTs, all that good stuff. So check out my link down below if you want to learn that and also what NFTs I'm buying and selling. NFT is a little bit ahead of Blur right now because they have just launched NFT rewards. On top of lending out your collateral like NFTs or liquidity like cryptocurrency, they're also rewarding you for it. They're calling it OG points. I don't know what you get. I don't imagine that it's tokens or a token airdrop. It's probably some physical goods, maybe some free merchandise, and probably some free NFTs also. The Blur lending protocol is nothing new. BendDAO is one of the biggest NFT lending platforms out there. They promise outsized returns, and in the face of this economic situation that we're in right now, they're still doing really well. There hasn't been anything catastrophic, not yet in terms of NFT-backed loans. Borrowers so far are happy, lenders so far are happy. They have to understand the LTV ratios, and even in big market moves, everyone's been paid out. Granted, this has only been out for 2 years. You want to keep an eye on this to see if anything changes. There's a lot of Web2 lending platforms out there for microloans that you can give out, but I trust blockchain a little bit more. Unlike the other NFT lending platforms, the Blur platform called Blend does not have timeframes for loans to be repaid. As a lender, I'm happy about that if the markets are stable because I'll get interest paid on my loan as long as the borrower continues to leave that loan term open. Let's say the borrower continues to pay me interest and for some reason the market moves and I don't like the situation that I'm in, then I can trigger what they call a refinancing auction. Basically, I could sell my loan on the open market. Who would buy your loan? And the answer is a lot of people, because if it's performing, then it's a good asset for them. That's how housing loan works. That's how student debt works. Heck, that's how government bonds work. I'm not going to get too much into it, but that's why the SVB bank collapsed in the first place, because they're trying to liquidate the bonds. No one wanted to buy them because they're at such a discount. Why is that a discount even though it's a good asset? And that's because the government has issued new bonds with better interest rates. So who want to buy the old bonds? Nobody. So SVB had to liquidate them, which gave them a big hole in their balance sheet. Back on track, if no one wants to buy your loan and that borrower still has the term open, guess what? You can do a liquidation auction. You can sell the NFT in the open market. It will pay out the difference. This mechanism has already been in play for a long time with BendDAO. In fact, a lot of people are picking up some NFTs for really, really good price. BendDAO already does this. There's no NFTs in liquidation now, but check back on this page often because you can pick up some NFTs for a steal. I'm not endorsed by any of these companies, but hey, if you guys want to reach out to me, let's talk. At a time where major exchanges like Gemini, BlockFi, Voyager, you name it, are getting their rewards platforms shut down, NFT lending and borrowing are going up. I'm super excited about this. The more services that are available for the NFT marketplace, the faster adoption rate is gonna be. We know it's coming, no one could avoid it. Let's just speed it up already. For more exciting NFT news, click on my link down below. Subscribe, follow along with this NFT market updates. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.